Well, time to catch up with Leanne once more, who is in Soweto this morning, and just taking a look at getting an overview of some of the damage and destruction that has been visited upon the thousands of businesses across KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng over the past few days. And we understand Leanne is now in Dlamini at a shell garage that literally, as one of the crew members says, looks like a shell of that shell garage. So let's find out exactly what has happened there. And Leanne, I believe you have the owner of the establishment as well. Over to you.
Yeah, thanks very much, Sakina. We were driving away from Maponya Mall, and this just, it's about a kilometer away, where you saw all of the cops and the SANDF and everything deployed there. We drove about a kilometer up the road, right opposite the Rea Vaya station, which, by the way, is still not operating. And here is where our attention was drawn to this shell garage, and Japan just pulled to the side and we jumped out of the car to come and have a look, and there is just nothing left. And what we found here was the owner also standing and looking at his life, his business, his money, his everything being completely destroyed. I've got David Miti with me here, who is the owner. And David, this must be one of the hardest things that you've ever had to go through. How are you feeling?
Certainly. I mean, I'm like somebody who's just woken up from a sleep. It's devastating. 50 people who have lost their jobs here, and the multiplier effect is that some small businesses that were depending on the business, on this business, as well as other communities and all of that. But above all, the inconvenience and the loss, it's so devastating.
I mean, when we started talking, you said to me just a month, not even a month, in July, here, in June last month, you were featured on the SABC for being a successful business person and a person with disabilities that's done so well.
It was on the 19th of June when we were featured as a site of businesses that are run by people with disabilities and employing a lot of people. It was a success story to be featured by a program called Activate. Yeah. And just on the 19th of June, and now it's a shadow of its former.
Oh. David, may we go in? We're just going to have a look and see, you know, what it is. I mean, I'm looking around and I can just see there's just empty shells over there of some bullets, and it's indescribable. How do you come back from this, David? I mean, where do you begin? The ATM's been bombed out. The fridge, there's not a thing in here. There's nothing. The road to recovery, it's going to be a long one. The costs are just going to be high to replace the whole business, to take it back to what it was. But devastating to this during that time. Maybe it takes 6 months or 9 months to build it up. Families are going to starve. Of the 50 people, I mean, on a multiplier, you're talking about 200 people that are being fed by this business. The inconvenienced communities who are depending on this business for food, for any kind of food item that they're looking for. Yeah. Then they would now need to go distances to find what they're looking for, especially fuel. I mean, this community is depending on this filling station for fuel. This is it. Yeah. Insurance companies, I mean, I now ask you as a businessman, you talk about the long road to recovery, but I mean, are you able to financially build this up again? Do you remain optimistic that you can get this business going?
One doesn't know as to whether the insurance companies are going to pay for this, and I've submitted claims, but there's no certainty as to whether they will come to the party and all of that, because you are covered by the insurance company, and the insurance company tells you, but we're not covering this, only Sasria does. And you've got no relationship with Sasria, but with the actual insurance company. And now you are just being held back and watching the movie play of how to recover from this. Yeah.
David,
I'm asking very personal questions, and please tell me if I'm overstepping. But I mean, you talk about the investment that you've made into this. How much money did you pour into this? I mean, you've been open since 2014, but I mean, your life savings, is this your life?
6 million rand to acquire this filling station, but over and above that, the money that one has kept on investing, and to get the return on it. And the kind of people that one has employed and trained. And in 6 months, if we don't come back within 6 months, the kind of skill set and the skill pool that one has put here, I'm never going to get it back.
You said to me 50 people have lost their jobs, and I mean, when I look around, you know, in Japan, let's just be real, and let's call this what it is. I mean, here's where the tellers would work. Yes. There's where the bakery was.
Yes.
There's where
the bread and the dairy fridge would be here. I mean, literally, they've taken even the shelves. Even the shelves were taken.
Your petrol attendants, I mean, are all of these people now sitting at home?
They are sitting at home, and the plan is, I'm talking to the trade union to say, let's lay them off and maybe get UIF to step in their aid. But even that, we don't know if they're going to be helped through to get the aid in terms of UIF while they're being laid off. Some of the people here have got houses. How are they going to pay for their mortgage bond? It's devastating, not only to me, but to my staff largely.
David, on behalf of all of us, this is absolutely, I don't know what to say to console you, but for some reason you have a strength about you. And I think you know it. You've been through a lot, and I have a feeling you're going to build yourself back up.
Certainly. Your mental state must carry you, and the hope for the future must carry you. And if you ask me, do I really want to do business in the township anymore? Certainly not. Certainly not, because the looters have mastered the art of looting. It's going to come back. That's for sure. Yeah. It's going to come back. That's what now we got to as business people, running businesses in Soweto, employing people in the townships. You need to now think twice and say, is it the environment I want to run my business in? Yeah. Because this is going to happen. If this filling station was vandalized in full view of the police, and they were helpless, they were here.
All right, I've got to leave it there. We have to hand back to studio just to say goodbye to our SABC2 viewers. We'll continue on our journey through Soweto, but this, a very sad story and the reality on the ground.